Baptist. Virtually every kind of organization that's a faith component to it is also backing this film because of the family values and the advocacies. Unprecedented. That's never happened in the country before. The other one is that the movie's actually backed by the Dangerous Drug Board. We're working closely with the Department of Education, the Philippine National Police. The President of the Philippines has also put an endorsement on the movie. So the movie is so important because cross-politics, cross-faith, everyone is sort of, there's a pent-up demand for this thing called doing the right thing and family-friendly. And we've really seen it because doors open that really have never opened before for a movie of this nature. So that's some more background for you, just to give you some more pretty cool things that are happening with this movie.
Yes. Thanks, Tar. Okay, so take any seat. Now, what's the driving force behind this film? Like you were saying earlier in our personal conversations, that it's a light into a dark culture. If you have your handouts with you, there's some really kind of daunting statistics there. That 65% of the youth, 3.7 million, deals with drug addiction. Talks about the teenage pregnancy that's quite prevalent nowadays, the drug use, the liquor, and so forth and so on. So what was the urgency behind this?
So the urgency was after 3 years of traveling the nation and talking to the schools, the principal, the admin, virtually everybody within the educational domain, particularly high school and below, it was very clear that the culture of the Philippines is in danger of dying. Now, we came back about 5 years ago. When we left, say 20 years ago, never thinking we'd come back again, and then we came back, we realized things like respect, things like taking care of family, some of those things that we loved and cherished about this country and this culture was really being overtaken by depression, by drug use, by alcoholism. If you look at the deathbed statistics right now, number one still remains drug use, but number two is teenage pregnancy. So those kids that get pregnant are never going to go to school and finish their education, so there's not a really great future for them. So the urgency for us was, we got to do more than 20 minutes in a school. We had to do something much more than that. And actually, people like Judah and others who are very close friends came together to say, you know, keep the vision massive, because if we make the vision massive, we can do anything. And that's really how this movie came about.
Wonderful. Now, what are some of the key learnings that somebody could, come home with after watching this film?
I think the stories, it's a family story and it's also an individual youth story. So there are dynamics between the mother and the child, there are dynamics between the father and the child, and there are dynamics between the man and the wife. So I think the takeaways are, everybody struggles with kind of the same kind of things, but there is hope, and the hope for us comes through Jesus Christ. But more importantly, that making the right decision and not going down the wrong path to begin with can change everything in a very positive light.
Wonderful. So right now, I'm actually going to call on some of the actors with us. Okay, the twins, please come back up. Jesse and Christian. Alvin Anson, Danica Ontenko, and Janine Rubin. So please do join us up here. And I'll just ask my questions from down here since there's no more seats for me. But don't worry, I'm so good. I still love you guys. Okay, so here we go. Here we go, so Janine. Okay, so I guess we could I'm gonna throw this out there. You guys, whoever wants to answer it, but it'll be nice to hear from everybody. What was the most powerful thing for you in making this movie, personally? Go.
Yeah, well,
Hello, check. Testing.
yeah, so actually this whole movie making process was really an inspiring thing in itself, because like my dad said, as you can tell, he's an American, right? He's he's so proud of this country, and he wants like all of us to make this place a better place, and we want the young people to grow up to really be good and successful people, but at the same time with more foundation. So just making this movie was such an eye-opener, and it was so cool, because as the dialogues were being said, and all of the things in the movie, the plot were being said, it was like it wasn't so much more of a plot thing that was cheesy anymore. It was like, wow, these things are very relevant in our time today. The different dynamics with families, the struggles that high school students go through, the struggles that kids go through with their parents. These are things that are very realistic, but at the same time, they were able to come out in a very entertaining way, and in a way that's very dramatic, but also good for cinema as well. So that's why it was really cool that this is such a nice combo of entertaining, but I'm really gonna get something out of this as well. So that was just really exciting for me, and especially since we've seen how it's been looking so far, and it's really cool and exciting for us.
I'll just say, from my perspective, it was very interesting because the first scene we shot was with Stephen Baldwin. And I remember all of us, Alvin was there, Cesar Montano was there, we were all in the room watching him come down the steps. And all he did was walk down the steps and he put his hat on and got his keys, and we're all like, whoa. And all of us were like kind of blown away by this. Now, Alvin's done Hollywood, Cesar's done Hollywood. We have some really great actors in this, but it fundamentally changed the set. Because when he came and did that, and he showed his professionalism, and he showed his quality standards, and look at the cameras, talking about do it again, right? Everybody stepped up. And I think the takeaway is there's an opening here for this country to really move into a different domain as far as filmmaking goes, TV goes, because the quality standards should go much higher as a result of this movie. God willing, right? And we had amazing people like the group up here to really make that happen. And we had some amazing cameo roles we'll tell you about later on that stuff too, but anyone else?
Danica? I got a different question for Alvin. That's fine.
Oh, you have? Well,
How about Danica?
good.
I just want to say some roles here. So Janine actually plays a teacher in the movie. Danica actually is the bad girl. She's really a good girl, right? But she's the bad girl, the love interest of Christian in the movie. I shouldn't tell you this stuff, but anyway, sorry. But anyway,
Spoiler alert.
take me off. But anyway, that's so you know some of the
Edit that
roles.
out.
And then Alvin, by the way, is a mentor, guardian, all that kind of stuff. Basketball coach.
Guardian angel?
Guardian angel.
Yeah.
And I said this to Alvin earlier. I truly believe this is the best role ever provided for an actor for Alvin. He was so good in this role.
But he's had a lot of good roles, so that's
Yeah.
a big statement. And
Exactly.
yeah, hopefully you guys can see that.
Thank you.
Okay, so what was the highlight for you? Why was this such a moving movie to make for yourself?
I mean, movies are one of the most effective ways to promote an advocacy, to tell a message, to tell a story, to tell stories of people's lives. I think for this movie in particular, because it tackles so many current issues in society today, especially with the youth, the next generation, it was cool to be on set and see so many youth from so many different backgrounds, some from in church, out of church, different social classes, all of that, all coming together and feeling the message before the movie even comes out. It was really cool to see how some of them were so encouraged and started connecting with each other from different social classes, financial classes, becoming friends, and just witnessing the message that this movie is going to tell already starting to take place, I think was one of the most impactful for me.
Wow, well said. Danica, how about you?
I think as a teenager, I can very relate to the movie, and I think it will inspire a lot of teenagers like me. And yeah.
I'm definitely, as a teenager myself, I will also be
Me too.
touched by this film. Yeah.
Okay. And real quick to add, like Janine was saying, it's cool because so many different people came together to make this movie, and they all like the message, and all of these big stars here, they all like the message as well, and a lot of our Kaibigan were able to be a part of this as well. So I think that was pretty cool that all these people came together for one message to do something good for this country. So, yeah.
Now, the weight of responsibility upon you twins, okay? I mean, this is your first film. Now, how was it for you to make this film standing with the likes of Alvin Anson, di ba? Mga Cesar Montano.
Kaibigan mo.
Cesar Montano. Di ba? I mean, you had some great actors up there.
Yeah,
A
it
guy named
was-
Judah Paulo. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, it was so humbling and amazing. My brother and I, whenever we were on set, surrounded by these amazing, established, and really incredible actors like Alvin, like all these guys. Even Judah. Everyone here, we were so really humbled, and it really inspired us when we were on set to really kind of step up our game as well. So, like I said, my brother and I play kind of the lead roles, but I say that with a grain of salt because we're surrounded by by all of these amazing actors, and like I said, it was so cool, and a lot of the characters there are kind of the mentors of the characters in the film, and it was kind of that way they were mentors for my brother and I on the set as well. So we learned a lot And like I said, it was such a blessing to have all of these people. These are huge actors who came together to support the intention of the film, which is to get this message out. So, and it makes the movie really cool too, because we have all of these cool plot points, and then all of these big actors engaging in those. So yeah, it was awesome.
I just want to add, we've done a lot of films, but just for your information, the Perkins wrote the script. The twins. And for the first time, someone writing script, we all know, you want to make a good movie, the script is your Bible. And I just want to, about big round of applause for the great script.
That was great.
Of course, the mom and the father is.
It wasn't just us though, so a lot of people had input as well. Even on the set, Alvin would say like, hey, like maybe this would be better if it was said like this or like that. So
Put Judah in there.
Yeah, it was
More
a great,
Judah in there.
great Judah.
Yeah, put more Judah.
A lot
Judah,
of
yeah,
amazing
sorry.
collaboration. Of course, Daniel Tan, he helped direct it. So
Oh, Daniel Tan,
Yeah,
yes, our director.
everyone was. It was such a collab. That's why it was a perfect kind of title, Kaibigan, because everyone helped out. So that was really cool. But yeah, it was a group effort,
And
collaboration.
you